Hello there and welcome back. Today we talk about the Versio platform from Noise Engineering. So what are the Versio modules? Basically, it's a series of modules that share the same layout, but connecting them to your computer with a USB cable, you can change the firmware and basically change what the effect, because basically it's a series of effects, do. So I have two, because honestly, when I bought them, I just auto start already meowing. Anyway, when I bought them, I didn't read what they really were doing, and I see some demo, and I like them so much that I wanted the emitter and Desmodus. The emitter Versio is a delay, a 12-tap delay, and the Desmodus Versio is a reverb. Of course, they come from Noise Engineering, and they're well known to have a kind of a twist on modules. So they have their particular aesthetic and sound. So they are very interesting modules. So I didn't know by the time I bought it that you can actually change firmware. So with one, you can have access to all of the other effects. Then, when I found out that, rather than selling one, I decided to keep them because I really like how they sound. They're pretty small, they have a lot of controls, they're very fun to patch, and they lead to very interesting experimentation, let's say that. Okay, before going forward, let me remind you some way that you can support my page. You can subscribe, you can buy from the affiliate link down below, and you can become a Patreon. So what I'm gonna do today is like I'm just gonna talk about the two modules, show this first patch that I did, very simple, and then I will do some other patching. For the Patreon subscriber, I will do the patching from scratch, so you will see the full cabling and you know how I get to a certain point. Hopefully something good. And but if you're just interested in know how these things works and how they sounds, just keep listening here for free. Amazing. Okay, so first plot twist. I'm using this one not as emitter Versio, but as Melotus version. So Noise Engineering just released two new firmware. And so let me just show you the fun part of it. So here we are. If you go to their website, you will have, they have the Word of Versio, so where they explain to you how they work, how you can load the things. You just basically sign up for their portal. Then when you connect the any Versio, you can just flash a new firmware in it. So right now there's 4 physical models, mean that you can buy, and the faceplate will have the description of what actually happens. But then, let me see if it's in view all. No, there's other firmware. Here we are, the Ampla version, Electus and Lacrima. So just to give you a quick rundown, we have the Desmodus, we said is a reverb, then the emitter is a delay, then the Melotus that I'm using now that I really love is a stereo in and stereo out grain delay, and it's very, very cool. Ruina Versio is a distortion, stereo distortion, sounds also pretty amazing if you're into that kind of sound. And then there are 3 more firmware, and the Ampla version is an ADSR control VCA, the Electus, and it's a sort of in between a delay and a reverb, and the Lacrima Versio that I think is the new one, that is a stereo auto, and that is just came out with the emitter Versio, with the Melotus. Okay, that said, let me just start by giving you an idea of how these things sound, and also what is the patch that I'm having here. So I'm using another Noise Engineering module called Mimetic Digitalis, that it's a sequencer, 4-channel sequencer, 16 step for each. It's a pretty interesting module. You can do a lot of weird stuff with it. Check out Ricky Tinet's demo on that. It's why I bought it, of course. And he's responsible for a lot of my compulsive buying spree. So since this doesn't output a quantized step, I go inside the IntelliGel scale, and again I bought it because these two are used by Ricky, and then from here I'm triggering and playing the rings. The rings then goes into my Befaco mixer, and then inside the two effects in series. So first the Melotus, second the Desmodus. So let's hear first how it sounds, all triggered and like clocked by the Pamela. Okay. Classic ring sound. Let's see first the reverb. Desmodus Versio. This one you can actually see. Oh, let me actually see that my focus work. Okay, sorry guys. So let's turn in. You have all the control here, pretty straightforward, the blend. So how it works, it's you have a blend control, a regeneration control that is a sort of feedback. Sounds pretty great. We have a tone control that is basically a filtering. Let's put this as a 100% wet, as you can hear. Wow. Then we have a side. It's a sort of the size of your reverb tank. That do also very interesting effects with the modulation. And then basically it's shifted this guy from a, in this case, a reverb to some more a delay. Plus you have an LFO. As you can hear. Here we are. Then you have three interesting things here. One, decide the kind of reverb we have. So in this case, it's a limiting, use a limiter so it doesn't get too hot. Then you have a circuit that puts some distortion on it. And then a shimmer. FSU, then you have this other controller here that basically decide how the modulation will act. If it's BND, I don't remember actually, but I think it's band. So basically the modulation between point A and point B is gonna be soft. With LRP it's gonna be faster, so you will still feel it. And jump is gonna just jump between the different modulation here, just to show you what this basically mean. I'm patching from the Pamela random. Let's patch a random out. random noise. And let's put it inside. So this would be the jump. Let's put, this is the bend. As you can hear, the change is more subtle. And the LRP, you are in between the two words, okay? As you can hear, just adding few modulation to it, it can yield very interesting things. One thing that I really like, the FSU button, that I don't really know what is the meaning, but when you push it, it will cut the clean, the dry sound, and push the regeneration to the mass. Listen. Of course, that one is also, you can modulate that. Like, let's add some, if we want to make it slower, so we go here, it's out 4, so let's divide it by 8. So now, once in a while, it will trigger that. Let's keep patching and see what happens. Intense. Okay. This is just to show what's happen in this thing. I will do some more tests and patches later on with full patching on Patreon, and these will just come as a, just show the sound. Yeah, I can say that because he unfollowed me. I've been criticized because I say too many times, hey guys, follow me on Patreon. But guys, I don't want you to follow me on Patreon. If you want to support, just come on in, and I would appreciate, because I do just this for, the happiness of sharing. But your help, it's always great. Anyway, somebody got angry about that, so yeah, whatever. Okay, now it's time to listen to the emitter version. Now, what's happened here? When you load the new firmware, of course, you have the faceplate of whatever module you bought. You can buy a separate faceplate, so you can have the one that match the one you choose. I don't know if it's actually Noise Engineering that produced that. I think it's another company, and they're cheap. Or you just do like me and you memorize it. No, you have it here. Okay, Melotus Versio. All right, here we have it. So, as you can hear, as you can see, it's a different, the layout is the same, but the name are different. So, let's add the blend. This was the setting that I did use before. So as you can hear, of course, being a granular kind of delay, reverb, whatever you want to call it, it had a sort of reverb by itself. But it goes in a very interesting, and I like to combine both, because here how a very simple, very basic, not interesting thing, it can become something more haunting in this case, and I like it. Anyway, let's go back to our Melotus. Melotus, it has again, blend and regeneration, same concept as this other one. In this case, this is the tone, same as this one. It has actually, as you can hear, it had both a high pass and low pass filter with some detuning. Really like it. Then we have a sparse. Basically, it set the amount of your grains. With here, in this position, is the more grains, 24, and this is just 1. Let's keep this on, so... And also let's keep it... This is the length, LFO would be length, and it decides the length of the grains, in this case the shortest. So put a lot of interesting. Wow. The delay, of course, it's the time in between the sound coming in and the grains to happen. Very nice. Then the two little thing here decide the first one how the grain goes. Forward, play forward. The middle is chaos, random between forward and backward. And this is backwards. And now you can really hear, because now we are full wet. Let's keep being forward, and then you have these other things that decide what this button do. So in the first position, basically it works as clock, as you can hear. So it sort of become a delay, a granular delay. And you can of course tap using a clock, and you can clock it. You don't need this anymore. In the middle position, it's a freeze. This becomes blue, I mean you freeze the delay. In the last position, it's a freeze. That was the hold freeze, and this is the freeze by holding down. And here we are. So, as you can hear, I kinda like it, right? Let's hear without. Super, very simple, basic thing, not interesting at all, and then very nice. Okay. Let's hear. I have here my trusty, lovely OP1. Let's hear with some rhythm. First, let's hear some tap. Interesting, right? So I feel that I'm processing this coming inside the modular with the Strymon AA1 coming here, and it transforms the signal output of this one in modular level. So from here goes inside the mixer now and then back in there. Love it. Okay, so that said, I feel that this platform is super interesting to process sound. And we didn't even start with the modulating thing, so that's what's gonna happen next. I will now just jump for you guys onto different patch things that I did. I'm gonna do 2 or 3 of them, but right now I'm gonna unpatch everything and keep recording for the, I'm gonna say it, my Patreon subscriber. Okay, and yeah, that's it. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, this is like a kind of ambient scoring kind of patch that I like. I'm not a huge patching guy, as you might have noticed by now. I just like to get to a point where I like what I'm hearing, and then maybe play with your hands. Okay, let's try with another patch and let's start from scratch again. So if you want to create something ominous, I like using the filter here down. And for the YouTube friend, we are here again. This time with the BIA. And I'm triggering the FSU with the envelope here. So for what is my interest in a modular world, I'm using it more as a palette to create sounds that I would never be able to create on my other setup, the Vermona one. So for me it's less than trying to find melodies and sequences. It's more creating this kind of vibe and record this as a sample that I will put down for you to download so you can play with it. I would like to hear what you can do with it. So it's like also interesting to just record, and I started a folder in my computer called the Noise Experiment, where I just record half an hour sorry of this, just, and then I can use these sounds for something else. And since I like the idea of scoring things, these to me are super cinematic kind of stuff. So that's it. So let me go to the conclusion. We see a few ways I like to use this two beautiful module. As you can see, I change my system quite a lot, and I keep changing it, and you know, it's hard because I started in a way with samples, and now I move the sample in another small case, and I'm keeping this as more a very experimental way of creating sounds, and I'm having a lot of fun. So I really like the idea of having one module that can change. They promise to have many more firmware, so it's like having a plugin in your system. You just change and put something. They sound very specifically noise engineering good. It's like something with a lot of character. So I really recommend it, and again, with buy one you will have access for free to all the other possibilities, so it will keep you busy for a while. The only things that it's a little annoying that I wish they might do how you call it, things that put on top, so you can change to just remember and know what this thing do, or maybe just I don't know, a faceplate with Control 1, Control 2 or whatever, and then I don't know, you write something, or just for me, for my OCD is like seeing the different name, it kind of trigger me like this. Ooh, that was a scary trigger. Wow. Anyway, so I'd rather not have anything written on and try to remember, but that said, it's so much value for what they are. They're great. As you can see, I have quite of a collection right now for module, plus I also have the clap dias that I have to put somewhere here. And yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of creativity, and yeah, that's it. I hope this was interesting. I'll see you guys next time, hopefully. And yeah, thank you. And I can keep playing because see, just moving something happened. And this is how I like to build interesting ambient performance or track. That's very nice. Okay, I'll keep recording some stuff for you guys, and I'll see you next time again. Ciao, thanks for watching.